Hey subscribers, I'm sorry I'm currently too busy to make a lot of videos. It warmed up yesterday afternoon and I had a colony over there on the deck. Around 3 o'clock I noticed they were getting robbed, and sure enough they lost their queen. It was a smaller colony. They lost their queen a few days ago. Sometimes it's hard to tell when the larva dies. They get too cold, you can't really tell how many days it was. But there was no eggs on any of the frames, and I found the dead queen at the bottom screen, and she'd been dead for a while, so it may have been a week. So I left the medium with honey there to keep those bees from going into the hive next to that hive. But this last night I took it away, and then I put out syrup yesterday evening, hoping that these bees would stop robbing smaller colonies. But as you see right there, that's robbing. And David Burns, you put a video on how to prevent your bees from starving in the spring. Well, before they starve, they will start robbing other colonies. So if you have several colonies of bees and you see robbing going on in the spring, that means you need to start feeding them. They're gonna rob before they starve to death. And in the spring, it's okay to do an open feeding because you don't have a bunch of hornets and wasps. And anytime you see a hornet and a wasp, you kill it because that's a queen. I was on a rest yesterday evening and these two right here were wrong. My first batch was wrong, so I had to redo it. So I put some out here and they haven't found it yet, because I'm currently trying to get these, determining whether these colonies are going to be able to take a second deep. See? They're stealing the honey off these frames because I left these out easier for me to get to, and I've only got this many more to do. And these right here don't have any frames in them at all. And let me show you what I'm doing now. On top of all my beekeeping duties during the summer, I got to get this done. I've got to move the electric. I've got to move my water. I got to get all this dirt out. I waited until after winter because I'm going to put up some posts here. As soon as I get this garage corner supported, I'm going to cut out the post underneath the bottom. I'm going to finish digging that out. So I got a lot of things to do. And over here, I'm working on these bees. We're going to finally have, here in Michigan, 1 week without rain and nice warm temperatures in the 70s. We'll probably have cool mornings because it's going to be clear at night. But around 11 o'clock in the afternoon, when the bees start flying, that means you can open a hive and do your inspections. And this time of year, my bees aren't used to me being in a hive. They're kind of ornery. So what I do is I just set a smoker next to the hive. I don't really have the time to go like this all the time, puffing out smoke. So I get a fire going, I keep it going, I put pieces of wood in there occasionally from all the wood left over from the building frames. And we're going through checking my colonies. Are they able to handle a second deep? And last night was below freezing, and I left all my colonies outside, some small ones that I thought would be all right above freezing, but it froze last night and I didn't lose any colonies. But they're really going to pick up now because it's warming up. I don't have my glasses on, but there's one frame of brood here. As soon as it warms up, they really take off. There's the queen. Now, with a queen that big, do you really need to mark your queens? I don't mark my queens. Look how big that queen is. If you can't see that, you ought to find a different hobby. Look at that queen. Best queens are those you make at home. Queens I bought from Foley's Russian Bees were garbage. It cost me $40 or $35 or whatever it was. A waste of money. Breed your own queens. You don't need to mark them because the queens you make at home are going to be bigger. Look, see? You can see that queen. You don't need to mark it. But anyway, I'm going to be too busy to make a bunch of videos, so I may make 1 or 2 videos a month to let my subscribers know my progress. And I haven't found a lot of colonies yet, or any colonies so far, that are out of honey. They still have a lot of honey. See? There's a frame there. I'm probably going to flip this around because, like I said in my other video, when it's cold and they can't leave the cluster and the honey's too far away, they could potentially starve. See? Here's frames of honey. I have all kinds of honey. Why? Because I saved my honey from last fall. I didn't sell any. I saved it because domino cane sugar. Well, let me show you. I'll show you domino cane sugar here, and I'll tell you why I use domino cane sugar. Let me put this inner cover on. So I'm done with that one. All right, let me pause this. Okay, trying not to create a shadow. This is a 10-pound bag of domino cane sugar from Walmart, $8.36. Non-GMO. My bees do really well with this. They have enough chemicals in their hives. And this year I'm going to start pulling out older frames. I have all kinds of frames. I'll show you that in a minute. But you guys, Americans, you guys are too complacent. You guys don't understand what's going on. As far as what's going on in the world especially, I watch the Duran on YouTube. I'm more informed than 99% of Americans because of what I watch on YouTube. The Duran, D-U-R-A-N. The guys there, Alex and Alexander, are very informative of what's going on, and they will lead you to other people that know. You start watching one channel and you can start finding the other channels. Stop watching your mainstream media. You're being brainwashed. Americans are being lied to. You guys don't know what's going on in the world. The coating they use on seeds in the United States and around the world, that pink coating you see on these seeds, neonics, neonicotinoids, or neonicotinoids, or however you want to pronounce it, that's poison. You put that seed in the ground, and that plant absorbs those chemicals. The chemicals are in the plant, and say it's, for instance, it's corn or a soybean. It's in that seed. It's in the food you eat. I don't feed my bees corn syrup. I don't feed my bees beet sugar because I know it's toxic. And if I can keep as many toxic chemicals out of the hive as possible, I can't keep out of the hive the stuff they're picking up around my area. Okay? But during the winter, like I'll show you. Okay, during the winter, I bought domino cane sugar to make sure they always had sugar in the shim that I put in the center hive. I got 2 buckets in and half a bag. And as I was saying, I have all kinds of frames here. And I also have frames that don't have foundation I'm going to put wire in. I'm going to start taking out the old ones because I've been beekeeping for 10 years and I didn't have more than 50 colonies until 2017. So now a lot of my frames are reaching the point, well, not a lot of them, probably 20% of my frames are reaching the point where they're over 5 years old. So this summer I'm going to start pulling them out. And how I know, especially when I look at the end of a frame, when I bought my first hive, it was from Better Bee, and they had those pins that you push in the side right here. Here's one. Here's one right here. They had the pins you push in, the slotted pins, you push them in, and it goes over the wax foundation. So that's what I did for the first 3 or 4 years. And then I realized it didn't work out that well. So then I started taking the time to put the wire. This right here, the mediums have 2 wires across. See, the wire goes across. Okay? That's better. It supports the foundation a lot better. So my deep frames, they have these pins here. I know they're older, and if they're dark brown, I'm getting rid of them. So let me pause this again. This is where my dog lays. She was my best friend. It's been over 2 months now, but she had epilepsy and the phenobarbital wouldn't stop her seizures. And, you know, I know why the honeybees I have are dying. It's the toxic chemicals. It's not the varroa mites. You guys want to think it's the varroa mites. You want to treat for varroa mites because the beekeeping supply stores want you to buy all these varroa mite treatments. But I know it's not the varroa mites causing my bees to die during winter. They live 3 to 4 months instead of 5 to 6 months. And towards the end of winter, my colonies are dying. My queens die. That's the biggest problem I have is my queens die. Every colony that I don't have anymore actually got combined with another colony because they lost their queen. And I want to know, I can't seem to find any information on Google, and I've asked people, why are dogs having seizures? Okay, it's not normal. And my wife doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, and she had a double mastectomy because she had stage 3 breast cancer. And she lived in this area around these crop farmers 30 years. She's from the Philippines. There's no family history of breast cancer in her family. So what the hell's going on? I know why my bees are dying. Like I said, I know why my bees are dying. And I don't know exactly why my wife got breast cancer. I probably figure our water's contaminated, but we inhale a lot of chemicals during the summer. And last summer, I moved my bees over here. And Sasha, my dog, because she's a Siberian Husky, I couldn't let her be loose, so I put her on a rope. And then I bring her down here to the shady area right here. And you see this right here. This is where I tied her while I was working my bees. And she'd just sit here, and she would look down through there, and she would watch me. And then when I had electrical jobs, I'd take her to electrical jobs, and I'd tie her to something. And she just watched me. When I went up a ladder, she'd watch me and make sure I was okay. And she loved me, and I loved her, and I couldn't save her. And you guys want to sit back and do nothing? You guys don't understand how much I'm hurting. I hate you because you fucking don't do anything about what our fucking government does. I want to see a World War III break out. And I want to see a bunch of Americans go over to Russia or China and fucking die. Because you guys fucking let your government screw us over, take our jobs away, spread chemicals all over. You guys don't realize the rich people are making money when you get cancer. They want you to get cancer. And the vets are making money when you take your dog to the vet. Not a single vet actually cared about my fucking dog. All they did was take her blood, give me some pills, prescriptions, and take my money, okay? Nobody fucking helped me with my dog. And my wife, oh yeah, they'll take her down to the hospital several times because they're making money, all right? Because we have insurance for that. But I didn't have insurance for my dog. And nothing they did helped my dog. So, you guys are spineless fucking Americans, all right? And I'm getting sick of trying to fucking wake you up because it doesn't seem to make any difference. I have 2,000 subscribers. But the 99% of you guys are so fucking brainwashed. Like I've seen videos on YouTube where somebody speaks up when a politician's having a meeting and they ask the politician a question. But majority of people in the crowd boo the person that's trying to speak up and ask that politician a question. Go ahead. Let your fucking politicians destroy your fucking country. What are you going to have left? You're not going to have a fucking thing, all right? Thank you.